he's abnormally like big thinker. Like he thinks so far outside the box. I'm like, wait, we can do that?
That's nice.
I don't know, but let's try. Like he's just always been that way since I met him. And so I think for the girls, and on top of that, they're young, her reaction, like, what? You know, so I think sometimes they look at us like.
What's an example of something that a big idea he had?
So I'll give you an example. Like every company I've ever worked for, if I liked it, I wanted to buy it. And even there were people, if TikTok was going to be shut down, I came out and said, like, look, I don't have $400 billion, probably could go for between 40 and $400 billion. But if they're going to shut it down, and my kids, our family, are supposed to be the first family of TikTok, and why wouldn't we be able to put a group together to buy it, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then people are like, oh, he doesn't have that money, and they start to go deep into it. I'm like, dude, it's not that serious, but you gotta think that way. And if we're going to be a family that's on social media, I want to do it. Everything I do, I want to do, not from a competitive standpoint, just from like a pride standpoint. If you're going to do something, do it well. And like, I was a sales rep for Mitchell & Ness, and now Michael Rubin bought it, but I'm a partner in it. I'm on the board. So I ended up taking a company that I was an employee of, and I'm an owner in it now. And that's cool. The mindset I want my kids to have.
Was it scary when the couple times that they were going to shut down TikTok? Did you guys go like, oh no?
No. We look at it as this is all gravy for us. I mean, dude, to have 3-year run to go from obscurity to be known, and like if this shuts down tomorrow, we're still the same people. We still will
amazing
figure this out. And
unbelievable.
And that's real. Like I'm almost like, dude, like you look at parts of your life, Jason, that whether it's college for 4 years or high school and your first job or us in New York City, like that. And I'm not trying to recreate that time we were in New York City. I'm not saying, hey, that's just a piece of time that I hold dear and I love it. And so what? We're on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully I have 5 or 6 more of these little 4-year time stamps, these little periods of time that we will do cool stuff. So
does it get sad as they get older?
Not at all. Okay, so
it's more fun.
Anybody who's watched any of my content or any of the shows, they're like, oh, all she does is cry online, blah, blah, blah. I am a very emotional person, but not anymore because the internet has bullied me into being like stone cold.
Naveen, make her
I'm
cry.
not going to be I don't know. Like, okay,
no, in like a nice way. Ask her a question that'll get the tears going.
Yeah. We'll get her crying.
But
Barbara Walters.
But when they started kindergarten, and I'm with my friends and they're all crying, and I'm like, this is a good thing, because when my kids started kindergarten, they were ready. I'm like, now if I'm crying, what is that gonna? Now I'm gonna leave them with some shit? Like, I don't want to do that. And so all of these milestones, like I was so excited for them. This is you growing up. Like, this is a good thing. And then whenever Charlie moved out to live with Dixie, which I think that goes on in season 2, I'm so excited. I love moving also. My family, my mom and dad were flipping houses.
Who says that? I've never heard anyone say that.
Moving.
I love moving.
It's a thing. No, but
moving's traumatic.
My mom and dad, that was their hobby. They flipped houses before it was a thing. They moved 19 times in one town in Lafayette, Louisiana.
So it's nothing for you.
That's a lot. So I enjoy moving and the new things, and where are we going to put this? And Charlie and Mark are like, ugh. He's like, you don't have to go, just stay. I'm like, oh no, we're packing up, we're doing, and they're like so shocked that because I cry at everything, and I'm like, this is a good thing. This was such a milestone. And I kept telling Charlie, you're not gonna believe how much you're gonna love this. Like, you don't know because you're not there yet. The independence, your own space, and she was very free to have, like, she had her own part in our house, like. Wouldn't even see her for days sometimes. She had her own exit and all that. But it's different when it's your own space, even though she's sharing it with Dixie. And so it took her about 2 weeks, and she was like, I love living on my own. I was like, I told you. So those are things that, you wouldn't think that I would, you think I would be sad about
You
it.
sound
but
a lot like Naveen.
I'm like,
actually.
this is so
Seems like
weird.
that.
When she was saying that, I was like, I feel that I've never gone through that yet. But I feel I would, because you have to be like so excited for them because it's their first time experiencing it. Why down it by being sad and making it about you?
My son wanted to he wants to go to school in New York City. And so we were like in the car one day and I was like, you don't want to go to New York. It's rats. It's terrible after COVID. I mean, so I've heard, whatever. I'm just making stuff up. And then she's like, oh my God, no, New York is amazing.
Or think bigger, Paris. Let's go to Paris, live your life. And he's like, yeah.
And I was like, shut up.
And Jason's like, what, UCLA? Sounds really good.
I took him to UCLA and drove him through to be like, this is UCLA. And he was like, oh, okay.
You know, I struggled with early on. Like I thought, to your point, like I thought she was going to be the one that was struggling. But I think what we were talking about earlier, that you go through your teens and early part of your 20s being selfish, and then you forget that. And now all it's about is your family. And it took me, once they moved out, I think one of the things you see in the show is Heidi and I having some issues while she was doing Dancing with the Stars, right. and you know, everyone thinks it was something more than it was. It was basically her kind of saying to herself, like, "Hey, I now am back to focusing on Heidi," and I was sitting there going, "Wait, I'm not ready to focus on Mark. I still want to focus on you guys." And you know, and now a year later, I'm sitting there going, "Wow, I'm back to being able to look at, you know, hobbies and things that I'm interested in, and that's what's cool about it." And now you have it where I'm doing fun stuff, like I'm working with a bike shop and I'm building a new bike, and Dixie is like, "Dad, can I come with you?" So, but now I'm focusing on things on my own. And I think Heidi kind of led that way with like, "Hey, well, the girls are out of the house." And I was like, "I want them back." And she was like, I always she wanted to be a model. She wanted to do all this. And now, so I think to answer your question, she was a little bit sad. I was very sad for probably selfish reasons. Yeah. And now I think we're both come to terms with it. And now we're like, emptiness. All right.
It took us a minute to settle into like prioritizing ourselves individually, which I think we weren't doing. Like we always he always worked from home. So we're always together, which I love. My mom and dad, my dad was in sales. He worked from home. So I knew that. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and that's what we happened to be, coincidentally. And so we were always together. We were always doing fun things, but we were almost just like, it was so easy. And then now we're doing like kind of separate things, and it was hard to adjust, but then now it's like, wait, I haven't seen you all day. What are you doing? Like you get that little that fun, love anxiety, oh, this is cool. I missed you all day. Like when you're together 24/7, you don't miss that person. So that's been something new and different.